What's up, everybody? I'm Ryan Mojay, back with Throwin Mitts after a month hiatus. We haven't done a episode in 1 month just because we needed a well-deserved break. We've been working hard over 2022, but you best believe we're coming in hot and heavy for 2023. And today, we're going to be going over UFC 283, the first pay-per-view event of the year. We have the quadrilogy between Moreno and Figueiredo. And then we have Teixeira versus Hill. It's going to be incredible. But without further ado, I will let you guys know we are going to have a guest on today's episode. My man, my boy, Nicholas Manus, everybody. All right. What's up,
bro? How we feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic, dude. We're about to get into it. But first, I didn't make a video on last week, but for UFC 67, I went 6-5, 6 wins, 5 losses. That takes my overall to 126 wins, 70 losses with a 64% win rate. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. But we're back. We're making videos, and we're in 2023. You ready to do this, Nick?
Yeah, let's do a new season, 2023.
Yes, a new fucking season, and we're going to get into it, man. And you know how this show goes. We always start with the main event, so right on early, you can see what we think about these main event fights and leading into some of the prelims, and then we'll be going through the early prelims as well. So here we go. We have Teixeira versus Hill, UFC 283. And a little bit about this match, Nicholas. So you have Teixeira on the left, you have Hill on the right. Teixeira fought Yuri Prochazka, and he lost. And Yuri Prochazka injured his shoulder. He was supposed to be defending his title here, but he injured his shoulder. He'll be out for like the next year or foreseeable future. So Teixeira, who was the former champ, will now be taking on Jamahal Hill here on the right. And
this is for the belt.
And then
this is for the belt, and then when that guy gets healed, he gets to fight the winner of this.
Right, yeah. I mean, who knows when he'll be healed if either of these guys even have the belt. You know what I mean? It's like that.
Word,
so,
for sure.
And, Teixeira was even like, I don't want to fight for the belt unless it's I don't want to fight for the belt unless I fight the guy who took it from me. That's what he was on. But, he stepped in, and here he is.
That's some real shit, though. Like,
that is some real shit.
It feels like, to him, it's more than just the belt now. You know what I mean?
Oh,
he needs to redeem himself.
Especially, he's a veteran. He's later in his career. He's been doing this a long time. So let's get into it. We have number 2 ranked Glover Teixeira versus number 7 ranked Jamahal Hill. Jamahal Hill being the minus 125 favorite. Teixeira being the plus 105 underdog. Small margin there, but it's kind of hard to believe Teixeira being the underdog here, as he was the last one to hold, the belt. We have we'll go ahead and get into their fighter profiles. Teixeira debuted May of 2012. He's a jiu-jitsu specialist, 42 years old, Nicholas, with 18 wins by knockout and 10 wins by submission. Jamahal Hill on the right-hand side here debuted January of 2020. He is an all-around mixed martial artist, 31 years old, an 11-year age difference between the two, with 7 wins by knockout, 4 first-round finishes. And coming into this fight, he's going to have a 2-inch height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage. First off, looking at him, what do you feel, Nick? How are you feeling about him?
Well, so far it's like Jamahal Hill. He's younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's bigger, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He's number 7, and he's getting this opportunity, right? He's only lost 1 fight, and it seems like he's on the come up of his career right now. I think that Jamahal Hill right now is definitely like an easy go ahead victory for him.
Interesting. I mean,
it's like a good fight, definitely, but I think Jamahal Hill, just by these stats so far, even though like Glover did have the title belt, but hey, people have it and then they don't.
Every dog has its day, you know what I mean? And his day may be gone. 33-8 though is very impressive in professional mixed martial arts. And when you look at the experience side of things, Jamahal Hill with just 11 wins and 1 loss, although all 11 of his wins coming via knockout in the UFC. So
1-1-1, you can't really get much better than that. I mean, straight up.
Yeah, right. Very impressive. So here we have it. The significant strike numbers: 3.8 at 50% significant strike rate, 3.93 absorbed for Teixeira, and a 52% defense. Now, on Hill's side, we have a 6.46 landed per minute at a 52% significant strike rate, just a tad better, definitely more output. And his absorbed per minute is going to be lower at 3.51 with a 45% defense. So Hill takes the stand-up game here as well. And you got to
throws more punches, gets hit less.
Yeah, and he's got the reach and height advantage coming into this one. Now, we'll take a look at the grappling numbers. 2.2 takedown average over 15 minutes at just a 37% takedown accuracy with a 60% takedown defense and 1 submission average over 15 for Teixeira. And Hill, I mean, his takedown defense, 65%. That's pretty good. He's not looking to take this to the ground. So that begs the question.
And it looks like Teixeira, it looks like he tries to get takedowns, but he doesn't.
Right. 37% isn't that great. And, against a bigger, stronger opponent, that could prove some problems. But if he is able to get Hill to the ground, I think that could be, Teixeira's path to victory. I don't think he can win this fight on the feet. So he's really going to be looking to take this one to the mat. And with that, Nicholas, go ahead and make your official pick for the main event of UFC 283.
I'm going with Hill.
All right. He said, I'm going with Hill. I like it. And you know what? I'm going to have to...
He looks like he has tattoos of like 2 hands.
It's 2 thumbs up on his chest. Yeah.
Yeah, straight up.
What a badass. You got to be a real fucking badass for all that action. And
he looks at his opponent straight in the eyes and just goes before every fight.
I'm going to tail you on that pick, and I'm going to take Jamahal Hill too. He's younger, in his prime, and I like Glover Teixeira, but it's Jamahal Hill's time. Even with just a very young record MMA career, I think Jamahal Hill has been propped up with the opportunity to grab the belt here, and you given that opportunity, you best go and take it. Okay,
you gotta take it.
All right,
but here to Jamahal Hill, if he doesn't win this fight, his career is over.
Yeah, basically, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And that leads us to the very, very exciting quadrilogy. 4 fights between these guys. Divas Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno. He is the interim champ. That means he is the basically unofficial. He's not the undisputed champ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
there's controversy.
There's controversy. There's controversy. It's minus 110. This fight is an absolute coin flip. Although I will say this. Brandon Moreno has had to change camps within the last 2 months. So do you understand what that means, Nick?
I do not.
So essentially
change camps.
Yeah, so they
like
have
a training staff maybe?
Yeah, a fight camp where they train for certain fights over, 6 months. Now Brandon Moreno was training with James Krause, who is an ex-MMA fighter for the UFC, turned coach, and now it's come out that he has been affiliated with a offshore gambling account where he's telling people, like he would have his fighters come in and he would basically tell people if they were injured to bet against them and win them all money. And it's been a huge controversy on top of all this in the MMA world recently. So Brandon Moreno was training with James Krause. The UFC suspended James Krause until further notice. He is not allowed to be involved with the UFC at all. And that means all of his fighters you cannot fight under James Krause. You have to go find a new fight camp. And Brandon Moreno was one of those fighters.
So it's not like he did anything though.
No, he did not do anything. His coach basically did that.
Okay.
Yeah, so he is not under fault at all. But I will say, this is going to be a fucking great fight. And you know what? It's the last one. You can't do more than 4. You know what I mean? Like, come on. These guys.
Well, dude, but what if you're at 2-2, man? What if you're at 2-2 and you're sitting there and you're like?
Well, I think it's 3-1 right now. I think Figuero is up 3-1
on him.
Yeah, on Brandon Moreno.
So Brandon.
No. It's 2-1 Figuero. But
because this is the 4th fight.
That's right. Yep. So you know what? What happens then?
Right,
happened
right up.
then?
I'm just saying, bro. They're both sitting at home and they're talking. You know what I mean? They're talking to their friends. They're like, "You're just gonna sit there, two.
Yeah, well, they've been fighting for the past like 2 years, just back and forth, back and forth. These two fighters, great fighters. We don't get to see them fight anybody else, just because they've been in this loop. So we'll see what happens here. A little bit about their fighter profiles. Figuero debuted June of 2017. He is a boxer, 34 years old, with 9 wins by knockout and 8 wins by sub. Very well rounded. Brandon Moreno, the assassin baby. He debuted October of 2016. He is a jiu-jitsu specialist, 28 years old, 3 wins by knockout, 11 wins by submission, and 8 first-round finishes. And in this fight, he will have the 2-inch height and 2-inch reach advantage over Divas and Figuero. Figuero, 21 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw or no contest, a win in his last fight. And yeah, so we're going to get right into the significant strike numbers here. 3.27 landed per minute at a 55% significant strike rate for Divison, with a 3.53 absorbed per minute and a 52% defense. We have for Moreno, 3.58 landed per minute, a little bit more production, but not much. And the significant strike percentage is way lower at 39%. Although he is going to absorb just a tad lower at 3.33 with a 57% defense. Who do you think takes the striking numbers there, Nick?
Honestly, it's really hard to tell based on just these numbers. I mean, you could go either way, just depending on what you value more, Mm-hmm. I think the thing that I guess is the most interesting is that Figueiredo has a higher significant strike percentage. Mm-hmm. But he also doesn't defend as many punches, but it's not like he doesn't defend that many punches by that much. It's all very close.
It's very close.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see more info.
All right, let's go to the grappling here. 1.48 takedown average at a 41% takedown accuracy with a 58% takedown defense for Divas and Figueiredo, with a 1.78 submission average, which is much larger than Moreno's there, although Moreno actually defeated him via rear naked choke in one of their matches. So that's just an interesting bit of information. 1.71 takedown average for Moreno with a 44% takedown accuracy and a 68% takedown defense. So both these guys are hard to get to the ground. These numbers are so close, and ultimately that's why this fight is a coin flip, Nicholas.
Right. I think that I'm looking at these numbers, and what I'm seeing is, like what you said, is very close, but I think Figueiredo has a higher chance of winning just because he has better submission numbers by really not that much, but by 1.1 more. That's saying something still.
That's significant.
Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. Because here's the thing, it's like he has better takedown defense. So wait, is takedown defense measured based on getting taken down to the ground or getting out of certain holds?
No, it's how many you stop. If they try to take you to the ground and you prevent that from happening and you stay on the feet.
Defense. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So my pick here in this coin flip matchup, the 4th installment of these two, is got to be Divas and Figueiredo. And that's just because if this is all so close, and then you have to add on for Moreno, changing gyms, finding a coach, and learning, just in 2 months, a whole new scheme and how this coach works and what drives you, and building that connection of the guy who's going to be in your corner when all the lights are bright, the fans are screaming in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. You know what I mean? You're going to want somebody you've built a connection in that kind of relationship with. And
so where's he from? Brazil? The guy on the left, Figueiredo?
Let me see. I don't want to. Yeah. Yep. He's from Brazil.
And it's in Brazil, the fight.
That's right.
Wow. That's tough.
Yeah. Moreno is from Tijuana, Mexico.
There will be, we'll just have to see. The home field advantage is a real thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So who you got?
But here's the thing, though. It's like when you got your chip on your shoulder, though, too. It's like, wow, it's gonna be. Honestly, I'm going Moreno.
Oh, he's going Moreno, dude. I love it, dude. Honestly, I love that pick because, it's going to be interesting, dude. It's going to be interesting. And then when shit goes down this Saturday, you're going to get a message from me either way. Whoever wins.
Moreno is the Rocky in this fight, bro. He's
Yeah.
going to prosper, bro.
You're right.
Everyone just expects Figuero to just end up coming out on top. No.
The chips are stacked against him.
Moreno's ready. He's ready to go.
I love it. All right, and there it is, the co-main event picks from Nicholas and I, and we're going to keep moving forward to a welterweight bout between number 5 ranked Gilbert Burns, also from Brazil, the minus 365 favorite, and number 12, Neil Magny, the plus 300 underdog. Gilbert Burns actually gets his haircut from the same barber I go to, so we're basically brothers. So Gilbert Burns,
nice.
He debuted July of 2014. He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu specialist, 35 years old. Neil Magny debuted February of 2013. He's an all-around mixed martial artist, 35 years old, with a 4-inch height and a 9-inch reach advantage in this one. Can you believe it? Good.
Neil, who has it? Neil Magny?
Neil Magny, yeah. He's
9 inches.
Yeah, Gilbert Burns is 5'10", and Neil Magny's 6'3". And then Burns has a 71-inch reach, and Magny has an 80-inch reach. And I don't know why the photos.
What's the weight?
186 for Burns and 170 for Magny.
See, now here's the thing: reach and height is a real thing, but weight is also like especially if Burns is the one on the left, right?
Correct.
If he gets on top, and after we look at his takedown numbers, I think that'll be the because you can take him down if he's tall. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, and lighter too. So it's going to be interesting. Let's get into the significant strike numbers here between the two. 3.46 landed per minute, a 48% significant strike rate for Burns, with a 3.21 absorbed per minute and a 54% defense. Not bad. Those are good numbers.
On both sides.
For Magny, we have 3.62 landed per minute at a 46% significant strike rate with a 2.27 absorbed per minute and a 54% defense. Another one where this is just so close on the feet.
I think these numbers are a tad more telling, though, because it shows, who the guy on the right, what's his name?
Neil Magny.
Magny. So he is landing more punches, and he's got the longer reach. Mm-hmm. So that will be telling if he's more accurate. He's not more accurate, but anyways, and then he's also absorbing less as well.
Right.
So maybe that is because of his reach advantage. However, though, I guess you're right there. There really is no real telling out of these numbers.
So Neil Magny is like a journeyman, man. He fights the baddest motherfuckers. And Gilbert Burns just came off of a fight with Khamzat Chimaev, one of the scariest up-and-coming contenders in the entire UFC. Like, that guy is dangerous. And Gilbert Burns, Khamzat Chimaev did, but Gilbert Burns gave him his first real test. They were both bloody. They were going at it. And Gilbert Burns has the heart of a lion.
Is the other guy undefeated?
Neil Magny?
No, the other guy that Burns fought. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we have the grappling numbers here. 2 takedown average at a 34% takedown accuracy with a 47% takedown defense for Burns here, and a 0.57 submission on average. 2.43 takedown average over 15 minutes at a 42% takedown accuracy with a 57% takedown defense for Magny. And honestly, if we're being real, he's attempting more takedowns, Magny here, at a better accuracy, and his takedown defense is better. So these numbers.
I think it's clear.
I think it's clear. Is that your pick for this one? The plus 300 underdog?
Picking Mr. Magny.
Wow. I'm going to have to go with Gilbert Burns. I told you he's got that dog. This is going to be a huge test for both of these guys. But I got to ride with Gilbert Burns in this one. And this is another interesting matchup. You have the giant, long, lanky guy versus this tough fucking BMF, bad motherfucker, in Gilbert Burns. So I'm excited to see how this one plays out. And another one where we're going to split the diff on this one. He's got Moreno and Magny. I got Figueiredo and Burns. So I got both the Brazilians. You got
Moreno and Magny. That just sounds like a winning duo right there. What am I saying?
All right, and there you have it, folks. As we progress down this main card, if you like what we got going on here at Throwin Mitts, like, comment, subscribe, share it to all your friends, and anybody out there who thinks we're absolutely batshit crazy, go ahead and tell tell us that in the comments. All right. We're going to keep on going here. We have a women's flyweight bout between number 4 ranked Lauren Murphy and number 6 Jessica Andrade, the minus 450 favorite, Murphy being the plus 360 underdog. Lauren Murphy debuted August of 2014. She's an all-around mixed martial artist. She's 38 years old with 8 wins by knockout. And in this fight, she will have the 4-inch height and 5-inch reach advantage. Murphy, yeah. Jessica Andrade debuted July of 2013. She's a Muay Thai specialist, 9 wins by knockout, 8 wins by submission, and 11 first-round finishes. The records here, Lauren Murphy, 16-5. Jessica Andrade, 23 wins, 9 losses.
Honestly, all right. Now hear me out. Okay, it's Jessica's got 9 losses, right? Now Lauren's got 5, so I guess like the percentage is probably similar. But it seems to me, Murphy's bigger, right? She's got a better reach as well.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Jessica gives me the vibe that she was the bully at school, right? She was a real meanie, right?
Meanie.
And then Lauren comes around, drops her down hard.
Wow. And you think this is going to be a schoolyard brawl?
Dude, I think that Lauren's about to come out, Lauren Murphy, and lay it down.
All right. Well, let's get into the numbers here. We have the significant strikes here. 3.84 landed per minute at a 40% significant strike rate for Murphy. A 4.45 absorbed per minute at a 58% defense. Jessica Andrade, on the other hand, 6.16 landed per minute. The production is much larger at a 50% significant strike rate, much better, but her absorbed per minute, 5.16, a little high for my liking with just a 53% defense. Now, although there's more production out of Jessica Andrade, Lauren Murphy still has solid numbers. You know what I mean? That's production. It's good. She's being hit less and she has a better defense. So, it's really
all I'm saying is one of my favorite podcasters, radio host Colin Coward, always says there's analytics and then there's manalytics. And Murphy, she's got them.
Manalytics?
Yeah, dude. And you just gotta have that gut feeling, and I've got it with Murphy.
All right, I like it. Yeah. I like it. Well, let's look at the grappling one more time before we check this out, before we make these picks. 1.11 takedown average over 15 minutes at just a 34% takedown accuracy with a 71% takedown defense. That's very good. Now, on Jessica Andrade, 2.85 takedown average over 15 at a 55% takedown accuracy with a 66% takedown defense. The numbers in Andrade's favor here, if she's going to take any sort of statistical advantage here, it's going to be on these grappling numbers. So we're going to expect her to probably take her down because Lauren Murphy, she's got the Irish in her. She's going to be hopping around, throwing the fist. She's ready to throw the mitts.
No, here's the thing. I think it seems like Jessica's quick, right? She's probably a quick fighter. And then Lauren's got like more, she's like more power than quick,
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Flash versus the Hulk. Yeah. And I'm telling you, Murphy is coming for the dub.
All right.
And mark it down.
So there's Nick's pick, the plus 360 underdog, Lauren Murphy, and I'm going to take Jessica Andrade in this one, the number 6 ranked. I think she's going to be moving up in the ranks here, and we're gonna see a good matchup between these two awesome contestants, and we're going to see a schoolyard brawl, as Nick mentioned, and I'm here for it.
It's going to be great. I'm excited.
All right. So then we have the opening fight of the main card this Saturday in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, between light heavyweights, number 9 ranked Paul Craig and number 12 Johnny Walker. Paul Craig being the plus 145 underdog, Johnny Walker being the minus 170 favorite. All right, this is an interesting fight here, Nicholas, and I'm going to tell you why, but let's get into their fighter profiles a little bit first. Paul Craig, he debuted December of 2016. He's a kung fu fighter, 34 years old with 13 wins by sub and 11 first-round finishes. Johnny Walker, on the other hand, debuted November of 2018. He's an all-around mixed martial artist, 30 years old with a 3-inch height and 6 1-inch reach advantage. Look at this. I mean, these are two big motherfuckers, Nick. Paul Craig, 6'3". Johnny Walker, 6'6". Coming into this fight. Paul Craig with a record of 16 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw, no contest. And Johnny Walker, 19 wins, 7 losses. What's your first impression right off the bat for these two?
I don't think Paul Craig stands a chance. I don't think he stands a chance. I think Johnny Walker goes in, gets it done. He's bigger. He's got more wins. He's only got a couple more losses. All right. His weight is 222. You can't go wrong there. Johnny Walker, it's a whiskey, right? Johnny Walker Blue. And so like that it's tough. It's got grit. Paul Craig sounds like a journalist who works at a cubicle.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, or a milkman. It's Paul Craig delivering the milk.
He's wearing overalls.
Yeah, I can see that.
In the white lab coat kind of thing underneath.
And one of them's unbuttoned, so he's only got one of the straps on. I see it, dude.
He looks like he's distressed.
But nothing underneath it. His nip. Well, he's got one nip out because it's opened up, and he's got one on. All right, I love it. Well, let's look at the significant strike numbers and all the other information before we make these picks. The significant strikes here: 2.47 landed per minute at a 46% significant strike rate for Craig, a 2.79 absorbed per minute, and a 47% defense. Johnny Walker Blue on the other side here, 3.26 landed per minute, 59% significant strike rate, and a 2.64 absorbed per minute with a 42% defense. Those numbers in my eyes are, close, but Johnny Walker, more production, better value with those punches, and he's being hit less. I like Johnny Walker on the feet here.
He's got the edge.
Grappling numbers, 1.85 takedown average over 15 for Paul Craig, with just a 20% takedown accuracy and a 50% takedown defense, although the submission being 1.72. Johnny Walker, not looking to take anybody down really here, 0.43 takedown average with a 100% takedown accuracy, but when he wants it, he's got you.
Gotcha.
With a 58% takedown defense and a 1.28 submission average. Listen,
and that's the thing. Johnny Walker knows his strengths, right? He's a puncher. He's a kicker, but he's not. He doesn't take people down, right? So he's calculated, right? If he's gonna take you down, he's gonna do it at the exact right moment because he knows his strengths in punching and kicking, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Johnny Walker.
And I'm right there with you, Nick. I think Johnny Walker is going to come into this one looking to make a statement, moving up in these light heavyweight ranks. And Paul Craig, he's been around since 2016. He's fought a lot of great fighters, but his last fight was really, was actually scary bad. Like he just really did not look good. And
Paul Craig.
Yeah, Paul Craig. He flubbed it his last fight out.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I can't really, in confidence, pick him against a up-and-comer like Johnny Walker.
Blue.
All right, and there you have it. That is the main card for UFC 283. Again, like, comment, subscribe, share this around the interwebs to everybody you know. We appreciate that. And that's throwing mitts for the main card as we move down to the prelims. We have another light heavyweight bout between an absolute legend in the UFC sphere, Shogun Rua, plus 170 underdog, and Ihor Potieria, the minus 200 favorite here. Shogun, let me get my notes straight. Shogun debuted September of 2007, Nicholas. He's been fighting in the UFC since 2007. Wow. He's a Muay Thai specialist, 40 years old, with 21 wins by knockout. Ihor Potieria, this is his second fight in the UFC. He debuted July of 2022. He's an all-around mixed martial artist, 26 years old, 9 wins by knockout, 6 wins by submission, with a 2-inch height advantage here. He did lose his UFC debut. And right off the rip, we have Shogun with a 27 win, 13 loss, and 1 no contest record with Ihor Potieria, 19 wins, 3 losses, which is substantial. I mean, if we're looking at
what's the reach?
The reach is actually Shogun has a 1-inch reach advantage.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
and this is close, man.
Yeah, this is close. Let's look at the numbers to get some more insight. 3.57 landed per minute at a 50% significant strike rate with a 2.77 absorbed per minute and a 54% defense. Ihor, on the other hand, 4.58 landed per minute with a 58% significant strike rate and a 5.89 absorbed per minute. Not looking good with a 42% defense. He's only had one fight in the UFC and he got fucking beat up. So these numbers could be a little skewed. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's like, do you expect him to come out and get beat up again? I don't know, but this is a legend. And if we're being honest, a lot of these fighters, this is probably Shogun Rua's last fight in the UFC, right? Or ever, probably ever. He's retiring after this. Do I think this is a win he could potentially walk out? Or do I think this is a fight he could potentially walk out with a win? Yes. But also, Ihor, he's got something to prove. After losing his UFC debut, he's going to come out fucking hot and heavy. And you got to look. Like, yeah, he lost his last fight, but he's 19.
Legends have their rise, and they have their fall.
Mm-hmm. Yes. He's 19-3 also.
Yes. And I'm thinking that Ihor right now, I'm giving the edge to him. And honestly, like, to keep it real, like, he's from Ukraine, you know what I'm saying? So he's got something else to fight for. He's got that edge, you know what I mean? Like, he's got to fight for his country, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and yep, he's gonna win the UFC and the war's gonna end. You know what I mean?
No, that's not it. It's a symbolism meaning. You know what I mean?
I get it. I get what you're saying. Yeah, and maybe
like when Muhammad Ali fought, he did fighting and he spoke against like civil issues and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Right. He used that as a platform. Anyways, yes, but no, we're going with Ihor, man.
All right, well, let's look at the grappling numbers. 1 moment. 2.03 takedown average for Rua with a 48% takedown accuracy and a 48% takedown defense. 0 takedown on average with a 0% takedown accuracy with a 33% takedown defense. Now, listen, if Shogun can get it down to the mat, who knows what could happen here, But again, like you said, legends have their rise and legends have their fall. I do have to go with Ihor in this fight because truly, he's just getting started. He's getting his feet under him. He's 26 years old. And, Shogun Rua is 40 years old coming into this fight. He's lost his last like 2 or 3 fights. And you know what? At some point, you just got to hang him up. And unfortunately, this could be that fight.
I think the last time when we came to see you in Boca, we went to B-Dubs, and one of the fighters, it was his last fight, and he got his ass kicked.
That's right. Bad.
We're like, oh, it's his last fight. He'll end on a strong note. Nope.
No.
I think Ihor goes in there, takes care of business, walks away, just a couple scratches maybe.
I like it. All right, well, there you have it. We're both on Ihor Potieria in this fight, and that is going to be the featured prelim. And those prelims start at 8 p.m., and the early prelims start at 6, I think. Let's see. Early prelims at 6. Yes, this will be at 8. So, all right, there you have it. And next we have a middleweight bout between Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez, who had a fucking amazing last fight. He got fucking punched, Nick. He got punched and from like, where between your eyebrows are?
Yeah.
And so that was split completely open and his eyebrow was hanging off of his face. And
wow.
And it happened and he finished he was losing, getting his ass beat. And that happened. He ended up coming back and winning the fight and bleeding everywhere, all over everything. And he came back, he overcame the adversity and won. And he's going to be taking Bruno Ferreira, the minus 250 favorite. And let's be honest, it's his UFC debut. This is this guy's UFC debut, Bruno Ferreira, and I'd like to pull up this here. Can you see Bruno Ferreira's account here?
Yes, the Hulk.
Okay, great. Yes, the Hulk. So he's got 9 wins, 0 losses. He's 30 years old, and we'll get into their fighter profiles here. This is the one that I can't click into for some reason. Get it together, UFC. But Gregory Rodriguez debuted June of 2021. He's 13-4. He's a grappler, 30 years old, 8 wins by knockout, 6 first-round finishes. And in this fight, he'll have the 4-inch height advantage. And as we talked about, Bruno Ferreira, it's his UFC His UFC debut, he's from Brazil. He's 9-0, 6 wins by knockout and 3 wins by sub. Just looking at, some of those, where are you at here? Because we can't really look at we can't look at much of the data here. So what are you thinking?
I mean, his name is the Hulk for a reason.
Yeah.
You have to go with him.
You do?
I think it's an absolute no-brainer.
All right. Well,
I mean, come on. Bruno Ferreira, I'm rolling with you, my guy.
I like it. I'm going to be going with Gregory RoboCop just because I like his demeanor. His last fight, as I mentioned, he fought through adversity. He came back and he won. And, he's also from Brazil fighting this UFC newcomer. I mean, yeah, maybe this guy is a good fighter or whatnot, but Gregory Rodriguez has been fighting in UFC since 2021. That was 2 years ago. He's seen the lights. He knows what the pressure's like. This Bruno Ferreira guy just hopping on the scene. Yeah, he's fought professionally, maybe won a championship, but the thing is you don't know the big show until you're in the UFC. You know what I mean? And
hey, all the Hulk is worried about is Hulk smash. That's it. And the Hulk about to smash your RoboCop.
All right. Well, we're about to see Saturday. I believe it's the 21st. So, yeah, Saturday, January 21st. I've got Gregory Rodriguez in this fight. Nicholas chooses Bruno Ferreira, the Hulk. And, dude, I want to see newcomers win. Don't get it twisted because I think it's exciting. Oh, my God, that guy beat fucking Gregory Rodriguez. I just don't understand. I mean, this guy better be fucking good if he's coming in the minus 215 favorite.
Seems like Gregory's got some damaged parts. His eyebrow needs a little adjustment.
Damaged parts. All right. And then, yes, we have a lightweight bout between Thiago Moises and newcomer Melquizela Costa.
Moises.
All right. We have Moises. He debuted November of 2018. He's an all-around mixed martial artist, 27 years old, 3 wins by knockout and 5 wins by submission. Costa, on the other hand, this is his UFC debut. 19-5, 26 years old, 7 wins by knockout and 6 wins by submission. Looking at the significant strikes here, we can at least look at Moises here. 2.48 landed per minute at a 37% significant strike rate. Not that great, truly, to be fighting in the UFC since 2018. With a 4.02 absorbed per minute while maintaining a 56% defense. What do you think about those numbers on Moises' side?
I think Moises seems like he's kind of like a scared fighter.
Yeah,
and I think yeah, right, exactly. And I think Costa, he's like this mystery man. Like, who is he? Yeah. And I think he's gonna come in there, just knock him out. Clean debut, go in there untouched.
Yeah,
Moises, little bitch.
So, for Moises' side on the grappling numbers, he does have a 1.11 takedown average, a 36% takedown accuracy with a 60% takedown defense, and 1.24 submission on average, which not that bad. That's pretty good. But the significant strike numbers
here, right?
What's that?
We're looking at amateur numbers here.
So I really don't think the significant strikes are doing it for me, but the grappling numbers could prove to be significant. I'm going to have to go with the UFC newcomer here. Melquizela Costa, fighting his first time in Rio de Janeiro. I think it's going to be great.
I agree.
Costa. Right. And then that leads us to a heavyweight bout between Shamil Abdurakhimov, number 15 ranked, and Jailton Almeida, the minus 900 favorite versus the plus 625 underdog.
Why does Shamil looks like a dirty sock?
What? Yeah, I see it though. Somebody, they went out on blacktop without shoes on. I see it. Now Shamil debuted April of 2015. He is a grappler, 41 years old, 9 wins by knockout with 10 first-round finishes. Jailton Almeida debuted November of 2021. He is a boxer, 31 years old, 6 wins by knockout, 11 wins by sub, and 13 first-round finishes. And I tell you what, he is one of the most exciting UFC newcomers, and this is just a stepping stone in his career.
Shamil looks like a real-life Grinch. He looks like he's just ready to come and take some kids Christmas.
Will that kid be Jailton Almeida this weekend? Let's get into it. Shamil, 20 wins, 7 losses. Jailton Almeida, 17 wins, 2 losses. So these guys have almost fought the same amount of fights. Well, not the same amount of fights, because obviously Shamil has more losses. But Jailton is no newcomer. He's not fresh. You know what I mean? He's got some fights under his belt. I'm really excited to watch him kick the shit out of this guy today or this Saturday. But if we're going to look at the significant strike numbers, 2.6 landed per minute at a 44% significant strikes rate for Shamil, 2.8 absorbed, not bad, with a 58% defense. Jailton Almeida, 3.56 landed per minute at a 57% significant strike rate. Great numbers. And look at that absorbed per minute, Nick. 0.43. They can't even touch the guy. Smooth like silk.
Yeah, he's probably fast, and this Shamil guy he's not fitting the quick.
Yeah. I mean, this is heavyweight division, you know what I mean? Like, Jailton Almeida is ripped as fuck, and he's in this heavyweight division. So, the grappling numbers, check this out. 1.09 takedown average for Shamil at just 23% takedown accuracy, 47% takedown defense. Jailton Almeida, 7.18 takedowns on average with a 75% takedown accuracy and a 50% takedown defense. And the submission numbers, 3.19. I mean, that's his game. You can't even hit him on the feet because he immediately tries to take you down. And
who signed Shamil to this fight? Who did this?
His manager fucked him.
This guy's at the end of his career. He looks like dirty laundry lint. Like,
oh,
dryer lint.
Dryer lint. I think the proof is in the pudding here with Jailton Almeida being my pick. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, it seems just Jailton's just better, I guess. That's the best way to put it.
And then we have the ever exciting Gabriel Bonfim, the minus 185 favorite versus Munir
Bonfim. Already, I feel like he's like evil. He's like the evil character.
Versus Munir Lazez. Gabriel Bonfim, this is his UFC debut. He graduated from the Contender Series. He is an all-around mixed martial artist, 25 years old. Munir Lazez debuted July of 2020, so he's been around for a little bit. He's an all-around mixed martial artist, 34 years old with 8 wins by knockout and 5 first-round finishes. Look at this. Gabriel Bonfim, 13-0, has not lost yet in professional MMA. Lazez, 11-2. Let's get into significant strikes here. 6.17 landed per minute at a 38% significant strike rate for Bonfim, but a 4.74 absorbed per minute with a 72% defense. Lazez, 7.4 landed per minute at a 54% significant strike rate with a 5.28 absorbed per minute and a 53% defense. Here's the thing. Both of these guys like to throw the mitt, and they don't give a fuck if they get hit. They're willing to take one to give one, you know, and I think that's going to make for a really exciting fight here.
Yeah, it's going to be a barnyard burner if I've ever seen one straight up.
A barnyard burner. The grappling numbers, 3.56 takedown on average with 100% accuracy for Bonfim, and that submission average 3.56. Love to see it. Lazez, 1.84 takedown average at a 66% takedown accuracy with a 71% takedown defense. Now, those numbers for both of these guys are really good, and I think we have two very good guys going at it here, and that's going to make for a fantastic fight. Now, do we think Munir Lazez, his experience with the UFC, could outweigh Gabriel Bonfim's 13-0 record with all of these incredible significant strikes stats?
I think that I have to go with Lazez.
You're going to go with Munir Lazez?
No, I'm going to go with Lazez because it's your typical story, you know, Bonfim, the evil character. All right, you got Lazez. All right, he comes in, you know, he's got a couple losses. The numbers are close, odds against him, and he's the hero at the end of the day. He comes in, and you know what? He might face a point where he's beaten down in the fight, and he's losing, but never fear, Lazez.
All right. Nicholas is going to go ahead with Monir Lazez. I've got Gabriel Bonfim in this fight. I'm excited to see how this one goes because this is his first fight in the UFC. He's Brazilian, and, there's been a lot of hype around him coming out of Dana White's Contender Series. So that leads us to the early prelim that's going to be starting at 6 p.m. on the UFC Fight Pass between Luna Lacerda and Cody Stamann. This one's going to be great. We have Luna Lacerda being the plus 260 underdog. This is his UFC debut. He's 12-1, 30 years old with 10 wins by submission. Cody Stamann, the minus 340 underdog, debuted July of 2017. He's a freestyle fighter, 32 years old. Stamann, 20 wins, 5 losses, and 1 no contest, a win in his last fight. Let's look at the significant strikes here while we are able to. Look at them for Stamann, 4.19 landed per minute at a 47% significant strike rate with a 3.39 absorbed per minute and a 63% defense. Those are pretty good numbers. A high defensive percentage and some good output coming from Stamann here. The grappling numbers also looking very solid for Cody Stamann here. 2.76 takedown on average at a 42% takedown accuracy with a lovely 75% takedown defense. I know we don't know much about Luna Lacerda there, but they are from Brazil. They're in their UFC debut. Where do you see this one going, Nick?
USA, USA, USA. I got the American, Cody Stamann.
Nice. I too am going to be going with Cody Stamann in this fight. I think he's got he's got the UFC experience. Luna Lacerda is 12-1. He's got some fights under his belt, but Cody Stamann's been with the UFC since 2017. He's no pushover. He's not going to get rolled over here. I think he's got a real good opportunity to win this fight.
Yeah, I agree.
This is probably one of my most look forward to fights on this card, and it's in the early prelims. We have Gabriel Bonfim's brother, Ismael Bonfim, versus Terrence McKinney. And Terrence McKinney is known for his highlight reel style fights. He is a great fighter, and I think this one's going to be very fun to watch. We have Ismael Bonfim, the minus 105 favorite. This is his UFC debut. He's from Brazil. He's an all-around mixed martial artist and 26 years old. Terrence McKinney, the minus 125 favorite, debuted June 12th of 2021. He's an all-around mixed martial artist, 27 years old, with 5 wins by knockout, 7 wins by sub, and 12 first-round finishes. Look at Bonfim, though. 18 wins and 3 losses. That's a better record than Terrence McKinney. You know what I mean? That's why, this is a very, very close fight when you look at it. We have the significant – go ahead.
I think it's going to be a sad day in the Bonfim family.
Right, just like it. We made it to the big show, and then they both get fucked.
Their reign of evil tyranny will be over this weekend.
Gabriel Bonfim, 5.67 landed per minute at a 53% significant strike rate, 3 absorbed per minute with an 80% defense. Those are good numbers. Look at that output with a 53% significant strike rate and just 3 absorbed. Good numbers for Ismael Bonfim there. Terrence McKinney, 4.7 landed per minute at a 56% significant strike rate with an even better 2.11 absorbed per minute with a 53% defense. This is as good as it gets. Look at these guys on the feet. This is going to make for such an incredible fight, truly. But at the end of the day, I do see these numbers swayed just a little bit in McKinney's favor, just because he's throwing almost 5 per minute at a 56% significant strike rate, just a little bit better, and he's being hit less. Not to mention his experience with the UFC as well.
Yeah, I think I'm going with McKinney here right now in this moment.
We'll take a look at the grappling here. 1 takedown average over 15 for Bonfim with just a 33% takedown accuracy, while his takedown defense being 100%. Terrence McKinney, on the other hand, 5.11 takedowns on average over 15 at a 50% takedown accuracy, and also a 100% takedown defense. I see Terrence McKinney just kind of swarming Bonfim here. He's a great fighter, but I think he's going to get swarmed on the feet with also takedowns. He's got a lot to think about. If you're standing in the pocket with someone, but they like to take down take people down, you're constantly thinking, when are they going to shoot for my legs? You know what I mean?
Right.
On top of trying to dodge punches and kicks. So I think that's just too much for the UFC newcomer Bonfim to think about. And I think Terrence McKinney is going to be able to go home with a W here.
I agree. I like McKinney here. It's a bad day for the Bonfim family.
Bad day for the Bonfim family. I like it. All right. And that leads us to a welterweight bout between Warlley Alves, the plus 110 underdog, and Nicholas Dalby, the minus 130 favorite.
Nicholas Dalby! Nicholas Dalby!
Alves debuted May of 2014. He is a kickboxer, 31 years old, with 4 wins by knockout and 7 wins by submission. Nicholas Dalby debuted May of 2015. He's an all-around mixed martial artist, 38 years old, with 6 wins by knockout, 4 wins by sub. And in this fight, he will have a 2.5-inch reach advantage. What do you think right off the rip here, Nick?
I mean, how could you go against Mr. Dalby? I mean, this guy only lost 3 fights compared to this guy's 5. He's won more fights. All right. He's from Denmark. All right. That's got to say something. And then he's got the better reach.
Yes, that 2.5-inch.
I mean, this guy's a warrior. Nicholas Dalby.
I agree. Looking at it, though, Nicholas Dalby is 38 years old to the Alves, who's 31. Although Alves has been in the UFC 1 year longer. So, Nicholas Dalby reaching the end of his reign. And let's get into the numbers here to see who's going to take this win. 3.07 landed per minute for Alves at a 48% significant strike rate with a 3.63 absorbed per minute and a 51% defense. Nicholas Dalby, on the other hand, 3.22 landed per minute, a 39% significant strike rate, and a 3.22 absorbed per minute with a 53% defense. Those numbers, in my eyes, go towards Alves. You have a little bit less production, but better significant strike rate, while just barely taking more absorbed per minute. So it is very, very similar and close, but I think Alves takes the slight advantage on the feet. And as we look at the grappling numbers, 1.42 takedown average with a 52% takedown accuracy and a 78% takedown defense with a 1 submission average over 15. Those are good numbers for Alves there. Nicholas Dalby, on the other hand, 1.22 takedown average over 15 with just a 31% takedown accuracy and a 65% takedown defense. After seeing the significant strike numbers and the grappling, me personally, I'm going to have to go with the younger Warlley Alves, the underdog in this fight, and I think he can take Dalby.
Here's the thing. If we expected everything, there would be no surprises. Nicholas Dalby coming in hot for the W.
Well,
he's coming off a win. I mean, Alves, he's on that same boat as that other guy we were talking about last episode. He's just ready to go home, get a sandwich, you know what I mean, made for him. Maybe you have a coffee,
I don't know, man. He's the younger guy. He's got more. Nicholas Dalby, if anything, he's ready to pack up and go home,
Hey, numbers can tell you one thing, but your heart can tell you another. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Right. Well, I'm writing down who you picked, so we're going to see what your record is here. When it's after this weekend. I'm excited for it.
How many more fights do we have?
We got two left.
All right, beautiful. Let's get it.
We have a women's featherweight bout between the ever exciting number 15 ranked Josiane Nunes, the minus 330 favorite from Brazil, versus Zara Fern from France, the plus 275 underdog. Nunes debuted April of 2021. She is a Muay Thai specialist, 28 years old, on an 8-fight win streak with 7 wins by knockout. Fern debuted October of 2019. She's an all-around mixed martial artist, 38 years old, a 10-year difference between these two, on a 4-fight with four first-round finishes. And in this fight, Nicholas, this is important info, she will have the 6-inch height and 5-inch reach advantage.
Wow.
That's a lot. But then we look at their records. Josiane Nunes, the ever exciting, more, so powerful, 9 wins, 1 losses. Zara Fern, 6 wins, 4 losses, almost 500. Not that great of a look. So, Josiane Nunes 5'2" versus a 5'8" competitor. This is interesting. This is interesting, but look at this. The significant strike number, 7.54 landed per minute at a 42% significant strike rate. With that kind of production, only having a 4.37 absorbed per minute with a 52% defense. And Fern, on the other hand, 1.98 landed per minute, albeit a 45% significant strike rate, but a 6.61 absorbed per minute and a 39% defense. I mean, the proof is in the pudding here.
All the numbers are screaming Nunes.
Yeah, I mean, even though she has a large height and reach advantage, like it's just
which gives me less faith in her size because her numbers.
She doesn't know how to use it.
Show exactly right.
Yeah,
she's gonna get hit on. She's gonna get beat on by Nunes.
And the grappling numbers here are minuscule, zeros down the board, but 70% takedown defense for Nunes and 50 for Fern. And I think we can both confidently say we're going with Nunes in this fight.
Yep, absolutely.
Amazing. I'd put the house on Nunes.
Nunes.
We have the very first fight of this UFC 283 card going down in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Simon Oliveira versus Daniel Marcos. Simon Oliveira.
Salmon.
He debuted January of 2022. He's 31 years old. A striker with 11 wins by sub. Daniel Marcos, on the other hand, the plus 140 underdog. This is his UFC debut, and he is 29 years old. 13-0 though, and Simon Oliveira 18-4, lost in his last fight. What do you think here, Nick? Not much to go off of, but I guess actually we can look at the significant strikes here. 2.73 landed per minute for Oliveira, 44% significant strike rate, a 3.1 absorbed per minute at a 54% defense. Now, Daniel Marcos, on the other hand, 5.4 landed per minute, a 47% significant strike rate, and a 3 absorbed per minute with that 73% defense. I mean, truthfully, look at those numbers for Marcos. I mean, 5.4 landed at a 47% significant strike rate while only being hit 3 times.
Marcos, I'm giving the edge to here. He hasn't lost, and all of his numbers are better. And when you just know winning, that's all you know. And this guy, Daniel Marcos, is about to have a nice salmon dinner.
Yeah, I like
it. Salmon and olive dinner.
So the grappling numbers, just to say, I'm 1.5 takedown average at a 42% takedown accuracy for Oliveira, 31% takedown defense, and 2 submissions on average. That's something to look at. While Marcos, 0 takedown average, but a 84% takedown defense. You know what, Nick? I'm going to have to agree with you. The UFC newcomer to open up the Brazil card, he's from Peru, but the newcomer is going to have to take the win here. The underdog, I like what I'm seeing from Daniel Marcos, and it's going to be exciting first matchup. So, guys, that has been UFC 283 on Throwin Mitts. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm Ryan Moget.
I'm Ryan Moget. I'm Nicholas Manis.
You're Nicholas. And this has been Throwin Mitts. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was so fun, Nick. I'm glad you joined once again for this exciting pay-per-view event. And until next time, folks. All right, that's that. Yeehaw.